Sexism, defined by the United Nations as prejudice or discrimination based on gender, has been a part of history for centuries, limiting the opportunities for women to succeed. However, women have been fighting against this prejudice for several years, leading to increased equality. In this painting, The Holdout, provided by the College Board, it portrays a young woman working in a jury, fighting the societal gender norms at the time. Although women have achieved increased equality, it is not present everywhere, a fact that is especially apparent in the field of science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, only 27% of the STEM workforce in the United States is made of women. This is a significant disparity, and as the STEM field is one of the fastest growing fields, limiting half of the population from participating in it can significantly hinder the United States' growth in the future. Multiple solutions have been proposed to close this gender gap, one of which is mentoring. According to Marianne Bruce, an experienced CEO, a mentor is someone who takes an active interest in your career and encourages your success through a variety of ways. This leads me to my research question: in the 21st century, to what extent is female mentoring an effective solution for closing the gender gap in STEM in the United States? Good morning, my name is Shreya S, and my argument is that female mentoring is an effective solution for closing the gender gap in STEM because it builds confidence and skills, provides psychosocial support, and limits gender stereotypes. To begin, mentoring improves skills and confidence in girls. According to a study conducted by Microsoft, girls who know a woman in STEM were significantly more likely to feel powerful while doing STEM and know how to pursue a STEM career. Having a mentor to teach them the necessary skills and share their own experiences in the STEM field can increase the abilities and capabilities of girls in the STEM. In addition, knowing that they have someone to support them and guide them through their challenges can increase the confidence in their own capabilities and increase the motivation of girls to pursue STEM careers. In addition, mentorship increases success rates, as shown in multiple studies. The STEM field is an incredibly technical field, requiring knowledge of certain skills, such as research, in order to succeed. Many of these skills are not taught thoroughly in school, so having a mentor to teach them can put mentees at a significant advantage. This is evident in a study conducted by Carol Rayburn, which found that women with mentors had a 25% greater chance of receiving a grant than women without mentors. Mentorship also provides psychosocial support for women. According to the STEM field is an incredibly isolated field for women due to their lack of representation in it. According to this graph, 50% of women have experienced some sort of gender-related discrimination in the STEM workplace. Facing this consistent discrimination can lead women to have high levels of exhaustion and burnout. This is evident in a study conducted by Laura Shervin, which found that 52% of highly qualified women working for STEM companies leave their jobs. To combat this issue, mentoring provides a basis of support for these women. According to this graph, women with female mentors were 100% likely to stay in their engineering majors, compared to a lesser percentage of women with no mentors and male mentors. Having a mentor to communicate with and share their feelings can help women cope with the discrimination they face in STEM. This emphasizes why it is important for women to have female mentors instead of male mentors, because female mentors have experienced the discrimination that their mentees face and can relate to the struggles they are dealing with. This relatability is instrumental in a mentoring relationship because it provides a grounds for understanding and an increased personal connection, which can improve the support that mentees feel. In addition, mentoring combats gender stereotypes. The STEM field is often portrayed as masculine, and the Draw a Scientist test is a common method used to measure this gender bias by asking students to draw what they think a scientist looks like. According to a meta-analysis of these studies conducted by David Miller, it showed that students were more likely to draw male scientists than female scientists, and this tendency increased with age, with 20% of 16-year-olds drawing a male scientist. This minority of women drawing, with 20% of students drawing a female scientist. This minority shows that there is gender stereotypes in society that push students to believe that women do not belong in STEM, and girls who are exposed to this stereotype have reduced levels of motivation to pursue STEM careers because they feel as that they do not belong and do not have the capabilities of succeeding. Mentoring reduces this effect of gender stereotypes by providing role models and examples that girls can look up to. By seeing women succeed in STEM, girls are more likely to believe that they can succeed as well. According to Kimberly Hageman, a chemistry professor at the University of Vermont, I didn't necessarily think that I could be a professor until I saw that there are women professors. Just the knowledge that the women in STEM do exist and are thriving can increase the motivation for girls to pursue STEM careers. Additionally, female mentoring provided at a younger age can be profoundly impactful because it can instill a belief in girls that they can succeed and limit the effect of gender stereotypes they might face later on. According to this graph provided by the College Board, it shows that across all aspects of the study, adolescents were more likely to resist than conform to conflicting ideals. By shaping girls to believe that they are capable of succeeding in STEM, mentoring limits the effects of gender stereotypes and limits the extent to which girls will conform to stereotypes later on in their life. With all of these benefits, mentoring is an effective solution for closing the gender gap in STEM. However, the one limitation is that there are not enough female STEM professionals to act as mentors. According to the Microsoft study, 56% of young women did not know a woman in a STEM profession, which limits this solution's effectiveness. One solution to increase the effectiveness of mentoring is to provide group mentoring sessions for schools and universities. This would allow female STEM professionals to reach out to a greater audience and inspire many girls at a time. The limitations to this solution is that it does not provide for one-on-one relationships, which are necessary to improve skills and confidence. And some schools and universities might not have the funding to provide such opportunities. Another solution is to provide virtual mentoring for girls. And this is beneficial because it allows for increased flexibility and freedom for both the mentors and the mentees in terms of geographical location and time. The limitation to this is that some people do not have access to the internet, but as technology is increasing, this limitation is decreased, and schools also provide internet connection that students can use to access this solution. This is the best solution because it provides all of the benefits of mentoring in an efficient and effective manner. Thank you. What questions do you have?
I do have two questions for you. First of all, thank you. First question, what information did you need before you began your research, and how did that kind of shape what you were going to do?
Before I began my research, I knew that my topic was going to be related to gender equality and conformity based on the College Board stimulus that I picked out. And so when I looked into these topics, I came across the fact by the U.S. Census Bureau that only 27% of the U.S. STEM workforce were women, and this led my curiosity and led me to focus on this sexism in STEM and how mentoring can be a solution to this. And so this shaped my research because I started focusing on what the benefits of mentoring is and how it can reduce the gender gap in STEM.
Okay, and what additional questions came up as you were going through your research?
As I was going through my research, I saw how beneficial mentoring was for a solution, and I only focused my research on how mentoring could be used to close the gender gap and increase the representation of women in STEM. But in my research, I also saw that there are other gaps in STEM through racial disparities and socioeconomic disparities. So another question that I have is how mentoring can be used as a solution to combat these other disparities as well, not only gender disparities.